Thank you, sir. Hey, good morning, everybody. We are back for day 5 here down in Oxford. Once again, Best Buy did not call me, but I looked on their website to get ready to call them again, and they have the window of time for delivery between 9 and 1. So the goal for today is I got the conduit, get up here, put the conduit up in the ceiling, climb up in the ceiling, make the holes, drop the cables down, drill through to get the cables ran for the front PTZ, the cables for the camera, the snake that's going to be for the ether con cable for the snake that's going to go on the front, and then go through and put the mounts and everything up for the televisions. I ended up getting a whole lot more stuff here. I got some concrete, some rebars, some threaded rods, a whole bunch of other stuff that we're gonna have to cut to get through. I want to knock that out as best as possible. And then also we have stuff to do to put the conduit for the cameras so we can anchor them into the wall so that they'll be in their final positions. I might actually try and do that first because that will probably be the easier thing to get done for right now. But let's go ahead and focus on that. Again, I have a hard stop at 3 o'clock because I have to go pick my daughter up. So it's a 2-hour drive back. And the latest I can get her is at 5:30. So we're gonna knock out all this other stuff. So let's focus on drilling in the the plaster, anchor in the conduits up here on either side, secure those, get that done. We also I got a new volume controller, smaller, we're gonna put downstairs, finish that up downstairs, put the plates down, and just get all the other stuff out of the way. So the only thing we're focusing on are the TV mounts. And then I have some help that's supposed to be coming here to help me with the TVs. Worst case scenario, again, I like to be optimistic. Worst case scenario, if they're not there, it would have to be that we make another trip down here, and I'm just gonna have to kidnap some people and put them in the car with me. And we come down here and we hang the stuff, and then we'll be done. But let's go ahead, let me get I got some extra drill bits here for my anchors and all this other fun stuff so that we can get inside this plaster easily, make some pilot holes, and then screw in everything, get everything level, and we go from there. Got that one anchored in. Got to do the same thing on that side. Cut a little bit on that end, but all of them are there. And I was actually surprised how much the adhesive held, but we're gonna anchor it in anyway, just in case. All right, so I'm trying to conserve my energy and do this as effective as possible. I do kind of want to spend my time on this because doing those anchors on the ladder will be simple. No, AJ, let's do the other side and then go from there. All right, so now I did finish up the other side. That's all done and that's anchored in. 2 screws for each one of the conduits, and the adhesive is really holding, so that should be fine. Other thing we have to do is we got to get in the ceiling, open up a hole. What I think I'm gonna do for ease of access is either, instead of going all the way to the corner, I think I'm gonna come up right in here, drop down, and then put a piece of conduit right up under that molding. Or depending on, might try and put a conduit that's right in line with the top of that eave right there if the ladder doesn't get high enough. So we're gonna do that and make an 1.5 inch hole up there, and then we got to find where that is in the ceiling and then go from there. And I need to remember my push rod that I did leave up over top of the order. All right, so my ladder can get up there, and I went higher from here. My only concern is the stability of getting up there. Let me see. I revisit a plan on going on this side. We're still gonna have to go all the way through. And I'm wondering, just trying to figure out, because I'm having a little trouble trying to get through the ceiling. So like if I came over here, punched through near here, and ran up, I need to see if I can find that corner where that's at. Because if I can do that or in there, we can drop the cables down and then work on that. Just gotta figure this out. Because if I came back this way, there's my push rod that I left up there. So we'll loop over here, that part will be fine. Just trying to get the cables through. So the cables are going through right there. And they wrap down. Now if I could find the path that ran up under here, because this goes into the baptism over here. See, that goes up in here. And that's where those cables are coming from. And that's locked. Where does that go to? Oh, that was up under the steps. That's interesting. Because that's the baptismal right there. Just got to figure out the path of least resistance to try and get there, because that's what they ran through for electrical right there. If there was a way for me to get into the floor, I could drop this down. No, I can't go all the way down. No, from here, this would get me in the back somewhere. Gotta figure this out. So I ended up getting a magnetic stud finder to hopefully find the nails that the slats were used to put the plaster on there, but it's not getting anything either. Might have to just go back with the original plan, like I said, with putting the metal rods all the way through. Look like we're probably gonna have to do that. Like, it's gotta be something here. So my regular stud finder wasn't finding anything. This isn't finding anything. All right, let me move the ladder over here. We're just gonna go through there and go that way. Alrighty. So we got through. Yay. So I can kind of measure off where I need to be we'll put one of the other beams on this side, and we're gonna thread the threaded rod through there. We'll saw off the ends of it because I know it's way longer than I need to get through there. Because that bottom one I was able to get into some wood and it held. So we'll see how that goes. But I got these rods that I got here that I will definitely cut because I won't need them to be that long. This will hold the metal strut in place, and then we'll cinch these down, and then the little threaded, whatever they are, I don't recall what they're called, that's what we'll run through, and that's what we'll hold the TV mount, and that will give me some more flexibility to slide those around if I need to. So like I said, this will go through here. Let's see how much playroom we have, because that's really all we need on this side. And actually, I don't need to take that off. We can just have that in here. That's more than enough clearance for where this is going to go. Then on the other side, we chop it so that it can go in place. Alrighty. Whew. It was tiring, but we got one up, and I had some other kind of locking bolts that I'm gonna put on here. I am through on here. I'm not gonna hang from it, but I mean, it ain't going nowhere. As long as this can support 80 pounds, that's more than enough for the TV. I'm gonna put those on the other side. And we're gonna put some of the locking ones on this side as well too, so that part is done. What I'm gonna do now is, the other mount that I have here was missing some screws. So Mr. Downey went to the store to pick up some extra screws so I can put the rest of the mounting around there. I really should move over here and do the same thing on this side. I think I will. I need to go up there real quick and measure the height, so that way I'm in the same place, and then we'll put the bolts through there. I already chopped these in half. These I'm actually gonna put one on the top and bottom, so that'll be fine. And then I'm gonna go downstairs, get the switch for the volume control downstairs. They came here and set up the tablet, so now the castle plugs are for the front as well as the S16 over here, so the system can be turned on from the switch that we set up there, and they have the app, so if the switch ever has an issue, they can manually turn it on through the app. That's the same thing I've been trying to get over and help 31st Street with, because I think in switching it, it's kind of like got out of sync. So if they have the app, which I have access to, need to transfer it over to them and have like a formal training for them so they can have that issue resolved if they come across that again. I'm just a little tired. Still trying to figure out what we're gonna do with getting the cables in through the wall and getting them over this way. I was actually sitting back thinking if I had enough conduit, which I do have a bunch of it, and that reminds me, actually I don't have enough to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to run all the cables all the way across and go up. I don't think I have enough for that, but other thing I need to do, I need to go back up in the ceiling and I need to pull the cables for the TV and the camera because I left them up there. I could try and go up there and see if I can drill a hole to see if we can get there and then kind of deal with that. Because if we could go up in the ceiling, that would make that so much easier because it's just mainly getting up there to, I mean, and again, the ladder can reach. I just need somebody that's here to brace the bottom of this. I don't like going that high and it's just me, and I definitely wouldn't have Mr. Downey trying to brace this and stuff like that. So we'll figure that out. If I can go up there and drill a hole and find out where that is, that may solve all of this, and then I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And then I can get on top of the organ and drill through the other side. I still need to open up the TVs to make sure that they're fine. I might see if I can set them up or something like that so we can get a signal and drape the cables over here or something like that and get an image. But yeah, I'll probably put the legs on there so they can set temporarily and then go from there. I think I'll do that. All right, folks, I'm happy. I went up in the ceiling to get my cable, drilled a hole, and boom, we are right there. There is my cable, so we're there. Yay. Not where I want it to be, but I mean, hey, we're there. I didn't even have to go all the way to the corner, but I got my cable here. I should be able to squeeze that HDMI cable in there, but we're good to go. So I'm gonna have, now you really can't see that cable from there, and especially I get some support here so I can put that conduit up, then we'll be really, really, really good to go from here. I need to see if I can drill a hole on the other side with that organ, and if we do, I can loop this cable through there and then feed that into the camera in the front. All right, folks, I'm getting ready to start cleaning up, but yay, we got one up. Ended up having some, Mr. Downey ended up calling in somebody to help me. So we got that one up. We're gonna put some more time in to come back. Probably gonna be Thursday, so that'll be a day 6. So we can put the struts, drill all the way through, mount them, cinch them down. I'm gonna get some locking nuts on there to go on the front and the back and really tighten and bring that thing together. I got it here just because of the weight. I need to have somebody else help me tilt it back up and then tighten the bolt on the back to make it sit flush. But that's the same thing that's gonna be here. I'm gonna widen the hole up there a little bit, and I think got to figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do the cables. That white cable, you can honestly barely see it. If I actually painted it, you probably wouldn't be able to see it at all. But now that I know what that is, I can measure over, drill the hole. That will be the one that I drop down for the S16. That will live over here in that corner somewhere. That hole will actually drop the cable down for the TV. Technically, I could probably do the same thing if I ordered another 165-foot cable. We can run that cable here, so all of them, so the splitter I would need. So we'll have 2 cables going back for each individual TV, another one for the camera. That cable, I'll pull that back up, find it over here somewhere, loop it back through there some way, so it can come through the back of the camera. And that will probably work. So I need to order another cable like that, and that'll get us back. Let me turn on the sound, because I actually put the new volume control downstairs that fits inside of the low voltage. So we're gonna play some music real quick, make sure all that's working. So all of that down there is fine. All I gotta do is put on the plate for that other hole where that stud was, and then downstairs is done. I need to bring the ladder back up here so I can close off the attic entrance, and then we'll go from there. So everything is here. Yay, let's bring up something that we can play. And I'm probably gonna also move the sound so that everywhere else is actually a separate mix. I think I will do that, just so it makes it a lot easier to go with. But let's do that and we'll take you downstairs. All right, so we got music playing. Also need to vet all the other speakers as well too. There's one in the back here. And we switched it on down here, so that switch that will power everything on, we got to wait for that. I just put the cables together, so now just this new knob that we have Ashley should control all of that. So we're at 0 right now. Yep. But here, yay. So that works. So like I said, I need to, because it hit the stud, I'm just gonna put something in like this, and then I'll allow me to put a plate on there to cover that up. All right, I'm done, but I don't know where my plate was. I had extra plates like this down here. I don't know if it got moved or not, but not a big deal. We'll just bring another one to cover that up. And they said they want this to be on the stage. We can do that. I just need them to move all the stuff, and then we just got to lower the stand down 1 notch and then just lift it up and put it up on the stage. But we can do that when we come back. Outside of that and that plate, this is done. The volume knob and all of that is working. We got the cables done. I might come back down here and put, oh, I didn't do that. Some of the conduit that I didn't use, we're gonna put a conduit right here in the corner and put all these cables inside of there. We'll do that when we come back on Thursday. So Thursday, the main thing we gotta do is drill through. I know my drill bit is long enough to go all the way through there. Drill through there, cinch all of that together, make that super tight, get some locking nuts. I think I actually have some in my garage. I'm gonna take a piece of the threaded rod that I got. It's a 3/8 16. Bring that with me just to make sure that that everything is working, so we don't buy the wrong stuff. Only got to get 4 of them, now actually 8 of them. We will put those on the mounts, the TV that we already have, tighten that thing down super tight so it ain't going nowhere. Do that with the other one, get some help to hang the other TV. Run the cables for the TV, get an image, and then we're good to go. So let's get inside from there. Alrighty, so I am wrapping up with the plans of being back here Thursday to knock out the TV and all the other little stuff that we got. The main thing is get the TV. That's what I pulled this out for, to see what this conduit looks like in that corner and against the wall. But I ran a temporary HDMI cable on the floor, and that's the other thing. I need to order another long HDMI cable. I do have one from another project that's already in, so as long as that is the right length, that can sub in for what I need, so don't have to worry about it not being here in time. So here is the conduit here. I need to change the settings on the TV so that they will always go back to the last place it was. But as you can see, yay. So we got an image here, put up scripture, very, very easy to read. So if I put this up here, yeah, that blends in real good. That blends in very, very good. So if I put this here in this corner here, and then maybe run across the baseboard here to get to there, that should be fine. So I'm gonna do that real quick, at least to get a running start, and then we'll know where to go from here. And then I'll put some conduit up there to hide the cables for the TV as well too. Or I might actually just bring them in the corner and bring them over. Whichever one is gonna be the easiest way to get up there now that the TV is up there. We'll do that. But that was day 5. I didn't do much. I did a whole lot of time lapse because, again, I was under a time crunch. Thursday, I'm not going to be that pressed on time, but I want to be respectful of their time. So we're going to try and make sure we get everything knocked out as best as we possibly can on Thursday. And again, we're in a good place. The main thing is We know that the mounting of how we did it works on this side. We got to do the same thing on this side for that. Straighten up the TV, and that's really just tightening up the mount. I'm gonna make sure I do that before we hang the TV on this side. Cables for the front camera, cables for the TVs, run them there. We need to make a hole in a conduit that runs the cable from the back in the media so that we get there. So I'm gonna try and come right there in that corner and run it there, run it across the baseline. We should have more than enough conduit left over so we can wrap it down the wall and put all the cables, including the other cable that the internet had. We can put that there. Then we also got to do the same cables and run them up under the carpet this way. Everything downstairs except for that plate that I just have to screw in. That's not a big deal. That's going to take like 30 seconds. The main thing is focus on the TV, get all the rest of the stuff out, make sure the front camera is working, and then we're good to go. So we'll see y'all on day 6.